It was told King David that his trusted advisor was in bed with his own son for him to be put to shame. It was an act of conspiracy which Ahitophel did with Absalom. Now, the question that one would want to ask is that if you have something against the king, why don't you do it all by yourself, but wants to rather help someone to achieve that? We established the fact that Ahitophel had something against King David because King David ended the marriage of his granddaughter abruptly. And so he has something against him. But the question that we need to ask ourselves this evening, beloved in the Lord, is that if he had something against the king, why didn't he take the matter to his own hands and then do it himself, but rather decided to join forces with someone who is or was from the loins of this noble king by name David? When it was told by the king that his trusted friend, his advisor, his counselor by name Ahitophel was on the side of his rebellious son Absalom, King David got a deeper understanding that the matter was no longer a joke. And now listen to me. I told you on Tuesday that for you to become a counselor or an advisor to the king simply means you know the inside out of the king. And so when David was told that Ahitophel was in bed with his own son Absalom, who was a rebellious son, David got a deeper understanding, a deeper meaning of the issue, that it was no longer a joke. The reason is that Absalom had become a rebellious son. Absalom was on a mission. The mission was very clear that he wanted to ascend the throne of his father, David. But it was going to be very difficult for Absalom to be able to achieve that mission. So when he got to know, when he was informed, when he was made aware that someone who happened to be his trusted advisor, his trusted counselor, his trusted person who was very dear to his heart, was also in line with this rebellious son of his, then David understood that the narrative has, as a matter of fact, changed. If Ahitophel is now on the side of Absalom, if Ahitophel has joined forces with Absalom, then I need to understand that this matter is not a joke. You see, there are certain things that one can decide to take it as a joke in life. But there are also certain things, the magnitude of those things wouldn't even warrant or permit you to take them as a joke. And so when David got to know that Ahitophel was on the side of Absalom, his rebellious son, he understood that it was no longer a joke. You see, I have taken my time at this particular place so that you'll be able to decipher the exact point I want to drive home. Absalom had rebelled against his father. Ahitophel happens to be on the side of Absalom. This man by name Ahitophel knew everything about King David. And so if Absalom, the son of David, happens to be on a mission, and the mission is or was to overthrow his father, then he gained a deeper understanding that the matter isn't a joke anymore. Beloved in the Lord, David understood that it wasn't a joke because an insider happens to be in bed with his son. An insider in the palace is no longer interested in the well-being of the palace, but instead the demolition of the palace. An insider is no longer interested in the well-being of the palace, but instead the demolition of the palace. Now, I call this dealing with the enemy from within. Dealing with the enemy from within. Now, beloved in the Lord, you see, sometimes the enemies from within are serious because they always want your downfall. The enemies from within are serious because they always want your downfall. Dealing with the enemy from within. Now listen to me, child of God. I know a woman who happens to be a businesswoman. This woman had some shop attendants. She trusted those shop attendants so much to the point that these shop attendants got access to her money. But to her surprise, one of the shop attendants, who was very close to this woman, started siphoning her money just to bring this woman down. That shop attendant was very close to this businesswoman. As a matter of fact, they were living in the same house. This woman was feeding this shop attendant. Aside feeding him, she had provided shelter for this shop attendant. And so one can also deduce that the shop attendant wasn't paying any rent. He wasn't paying any light bill. He wasn't paying any water bill. He was fed by this woman. But this shop attendant started stealing from this business woman. And so he thought he wasn't going to be caught. But one day the woman caught him. And then when the woman caught him, the guy wasn't himself anymore. When they close from shop and they come home, this gentleman will always be in a mood that presupposes that there is something wrong with his life. Beloved in the Lord, dealing with an enemy from within is very dangerous with an enemy from without. That is why King David didn't take the matter to be a joke. He saw that the way things are going, if I sit down unconcerned and these guys decide to strike, I may go down. But tonight I left a prayer for somebody. Anybody who is plotting your going down is already down. Whoever is plotting your going down, that person is already down. In the mighty name of Jesus. David understood that if I sit down unconcerned, if I decide not to do anything about this matter, and I watch things to just unfold, before I am able to say, Jack, where are you? I will be going down. So he saw that the matter wasn't a joke. Listen to me. Sometimes we take certain things for granted in our walk with the Lord as we walk on the surface of this earth. Sometimes we get to a particular pinnacle of life whereby we think that everything everything is normal. But tonight I am here to announce to somebody that there is nothing normal under the sun. If you take things normal, you will die in a way that you didn't even expect. Tonight I lift a prayer over your life that may you not take certain things for granted. May you appreciate the fact that whatever you may be going through, you need not to take it as a joke, but you need to take it very, very serious. How can you take this as a joke when your counselor, when your advisor, and for that matter, somebody you trusted so much that you have even revealed every hidden secret in your heart to that person? That person is now on bed with your own rebellious son. They are plotting something against your life and you want to take it as a joke. If you take certain things of this caliber as a joke, you will die as a joker. So David didn't take it as a joke. Tonight, I lift a prayer for somebody that may God expose any enemy from within who is plotting your downfall in the mighty name of Jesus. I say, may God expose any enemy from within who is plotting your downfall. May the creator of the heavens and the earth, may he expose any enemy from within who is plotting your downfall in the mighty name of Jesus. I lift a prayer for you. God is exposing them. God is exposing them. God is exposing them.